Everybody's got a dream, everybody's got a goal. What's the plan?
Imagine a life forged in the crucible of unimaginable hardship. A childhood scared by shadows, a youth defined by scarcity, and an adulthood thrust into the abyss of homelessness, all while clutching the hand of a child, refusing to let go of a dream that seemed utterly impossible. This is not merely a tale of survival, it is a profound exploration of human spirit's boundless capacity to overcome, to redefine what is possible, and to discover true fulfillment amidst the most daunting adversities. Today, on Freedom with Drishti, my aim is to unravel the astonishing true story of an individual whose name, when revealed, will resonate with millions. But for now, let's call him our hero. This narrative transcends a simple rags to riches account. It serves as a masterclass in resilience, a testament to the power of unwavering belief, and a redefinition of what happiness truly means. The early life of our hero began in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in 1954, shrouded in pervasive poverty and marked by profound instability. He grew up without ever knowing his biological father, Thomas Turner, a married man from Louisiana, whom he would not meet until he was 28 years old. This absence created a void that would later fuel a deep seated commitment to his own future children. His childhood was characterized by a brutal existence, living primarily with his beloved mother, Betty Jean Triplett, but frequently shuffled into foster homes due to her incarcerations. A dark shadow loomed over his formative years in the form of his stepfather, Freddie Triplett, a physically abusive, alcoholic, and illiterate man who terrorized the household. The domestic violence was relentless, with beatings inflicted upon his mother and the children, creating an environment of constant fear and psychological torment. Specific traumatic incidents stand out. At just 6 years old, he witnessed his mother severely beaten, catching a horrifying glimpse of the inside of his mother's skull from a blow by Triplet. The family lived under the constant threat of Triplet, who frequently brandished a shotgun, yelling, "Get the out of my house." Psychological abuse was also a daily occurrence, with Triplet cruelly reminding him, "I'm not your daddy, you ain't got no daddy," and publicly shaming him with insults like "that big eared," which led to teasing from the schoolmates who called him Dumbo. His mother's imprisonments for welfare fraud further destabilized his life, including a harrowing incident where she set their house on fire in an attempt to escape Triplet, resulting in a 4-year sentence. Despite this overwhelming chaos and trauma, a profound counter narrative emerged through the unwavering influence of his mother, Betty Jean. She instilled in him the powerful belief that he could have dreams and achieve great things, even though her own aspirations had been denied. Her famous admonition, and I quote, "You can only depend on yourself. The cavalry ain't coming," became a foundational principle emphasizing self reliance and personal agency. She also imparted the transformative power of literacy, famously telling him that the public library was, and I quote, the most dangerous place in the world because you could go in there and figure out how to do anything. This guidance, despite her own struggles, planted the essential seeds of resilience and an indomitable drive that would define his entire life. This demonstrates that internal fortitude can be cultivated even in the most adverse external circumstances, providing powerful message of hope and personal empowerment. His coping mechanism against Ripley's tyranny was a silent, powerful act of defiance. Reading aloud. This simple act became a declaration that I can read and I am going places, a testament to his burgeoning will to transcend his circumstances. While he had early brushes with criminal activity, such as shoplifting and deeply traumatic rape incident at age 14. These unsuccessful attempts and the profound pain they caused, particularly his mother's disappointment, solidified his resolve to go to the other way. The fact that he actively chose a different path and later used his most painful experiences, including the rape, to help others, as evidenced by his public sharing of the story, which helped a 10-year-old boy in a similar situation, speaks to an extraordinary capacity for self correction and a transformation of personal suffering into a tool for positive impact. This profound development of character elevates his story beyond mere survival to one of the deep personal and social transformation, making his journey even more inspiring. Following high school, our hero joined the US Navy, a period that instilled in him discipline and provided him with valuable transferable skills. After his discharge, he relocated to San Francisco, where he pursued a career as a medical research associate and later as a scientific supply distributor, notably selling bone density scanners. This period was fraught with the financial stress, which placed considerable strain on his relationship with his girlfriend, Jackie. Despite these challenges, a new and compelling fascination began to take root within him: the world of finance. This compelling interest was remarkable, given that he possessed no college degree, no MBA, and lacked any connection within the industry. The pivotal moment, a true life changing encounter, occurred in 1981 or 1982. While working as a salesman, he observed a well dressed man, Bob Bridges, stepping out of a flashy red Ferrari. In an audacious move, he took a risk and directly approached Bridges, asking him what he did for a living. This bold inquiry led to Bridges agreeing to teach him the intricacies of the brokerage business, opening a door to a world previously unimaginable. This encounter was not merely a stroke of luck, it was a direct consequence of his proactive curiosity and audacity. His willingness to approach a stranger and ask a bold question highlights an inherent drive and a refusal to let perceived social barriers limit his pursuit of opportunity. This foreshadows his later success in a competitive industry where initiative and risk taking are paramount, reinforcing the earlier theme of self reliance instilled by his mother. The path to entering the financial industry was far from easy. He applied for numerous training programs at brokerages, facing multiple rejections. Yet he remained resolute, willing to live on next to nothing while he learned the new trade. This determination was fueled by a profound desire to provide a promising future for his son. The phrase willing to live on next to nothing in pursuit of his new career, even before the onset of homelessness, reveals a deep seated, almost fanatical commitment to his cause. This level of dedication foreshadows the extreme sacrifice he would later make, indicating that his drive was not just a reaction to hardship but an integral part of his character. This preparation for significant struggle made the subsequent homelessness, while brutal, perhaps not an entirely unforeseen escalation of his chosen path. The birth of his son, Christopher Jr., in 1981 marked as a profound turning point in his life. This event solidified his determination to find a career that would be both lucrative and fulfilling, driven by a powerful new purpose. His commitment to fatherhood was deeply personal, born from his own experience of never knowing his biological father and the pervasive instability of his childhood. He made a solemn vow as a young boy. I made up my mind as a young kid that when I had children, they were going to know who their father is and that he isn't going anywhere. This was a conscious and deeply personal decision to break a generational cycle of absence and neglect, transforming his struggle from a generic quest for success into a poignant mission to rectify historical wrongs within his own family line. Just as he secured an unpaid internship at the prestigious Dean Witter Reynolds brokerage, a series of catastrophic events unfolded, creating a perfect storm of adversity. His son's mother, Jackie, walked out on him and their toddler son, leaving him as a single father overnight. Almost simultaneously, he was arrested and jailed for 10 days due to $1,200 in unpaid parking tickets. Upon his release, he discovered he had lost his apartment and most of his belongings, plunging him, his young son, into the unimaginable reality of homelessness. He was now a single father, homeless, yet committed to an unpaid, highly competitive internship in a cutthroat industry. The simultaneous onset of a single fatherhood and homelessness, triggered by a seemingly minor debt like parking tickets, underscores the extreme precariousness of life for those on the margins. It demonstrates how a single, relatively small setback can cascade into a complete loss of stability, highlighting the systematic challenges faced by the improvised and making his eventual triumph even more remarkable. The daily routine of our hero and his young son became a relentless battle for survival. Each morning began early, ensuring his son reached daycare, a necessity that consumed $400 a month, nearly all of his meager income from the unpaid internship. His days were long and arduous at the office, followed by a frantic race to pick up his son before the strict shelter curfew each night. Their homes were transient and often desperate. They slept wherever they could find refuge, including parks, soup kitchens to the office after hours, and famously a public transit station bathroom. Amidst this chaos, his commitment to self improvement remained unwavering. He relentlessly pursued self education, teaching himself the intricate workings of the stock market in the quiet corners of subway stations and city parks. Even while homeless, he continued to study and learn, driven by an unyielding desire to master his new chosen field. The personal sacrifice was immense. He often went hungry to ensure his son had food. The emotional toll of leaving his child with stranger, constantly hoping everything was okay, was a heavy burden. His ability to transform public spaces like subway stations and parks into his classroom demonstrates extraordinary resourcefulness and an unyielding commitment to self improvement, regardless of circumstances. This highlights that true learning and growth are not confined to traditional institutions but are products of relentless personal initiative, offering a powerful metaphor for overcoming adversity by adapting and leveraging available resources. A profound ethical dilemma arose from his pursuit of the dream. He made a fateful decision to remain homeless with his son for approximately a year, consciously choosing this path over a slower, more secure route to success that would have provided immediate housing. His rationale was clear. He believed building his own client base at Dean Witter would allow him to become wealthy faster, providing the permanent escape from poverty he so desperately sought. He consciously chose not to postpone his chance to become rich in order to care for his son, nor would he abandon his child. This choice, though controversial, as some might argue it, violated one of the basic obligations that a parent owes to his or her child, was a testament to his extreme conviction and long term vision, even at immense short term cost. This calculated risk, born from an intense drive for permanent escape from poverty, reveals a deep seated, almost fanatical belief in his long term vision and his willingness to endure extreme short term pain for it. His internal mantra during these harrowing times was a testament to his resilience, and I quote, "The future was uncertain, absolutely, and there were many hurdles, twists, and turns to come. But as long as I kept moving forward, one foot in front of the other, the voices of fear and shame, the messages from those who wanted me to believe that I wasn't good enough, would be stilled." After 6 months of grueling, unpaid work, his relentless determination finally paid off. He aced the licensing exam and was one of the select few interns offered a full-time position at Dean Witter Reynolds. With a stable income, he was at last able to rent an apartment, pulling himself and his son out of the crushing grip of homelessness. This marked the beginning of his rapid ascent in the financial world. He moved to Bear Stearns and Company, where he worked from 1983 to 1987, quickly establishing himself as a top earner within the firm. His ambition, however, extended far beyond merely securing a stable position. In 1987, he founded his own brokerage firm, Gardner Ridge and Company, in Chicago, starting with the modest $10,000 from his home. The firm specialized in handling transactions for large institutional investors, and he quickly demonstrated a remarkable aptitude for the business, managing multi-million dollar deals for blue chip companies and growing his wealth exponentially. His unique business philosophy, owning the fewest shares but controlling the most, guided his approach as he maintained a 75% ownership stake in the company. This demonstrated not just financial acumen but also a profound strategic understanding of ownership and control. The progression from a full time position at Dean Witter to a top earner at Bear Stearns and then founding his own firm reveals a consistent pattern of continuous ambition and an entrepreneurial spirit that goes beyond merely escaping poverty. He leveraged stability to build his own empire. The initial investment of $10,000 for Gardner Ridge and Company serves as a powerful symbol of starting from virtually nothing and building a multi-million dollar fortune, underscoring his financial astuteness and calculated risk taking ability, which were undoubtedly honed during his period of extreme scarcity. His estimated net worth stands at approximately $70 million as of 2024, a powerful testament to his extraordinary journey from absolute poverty to immense wealth. His extraordinary story captured the imagination of the world, leading to the publication of his number one New York Times and Washington Post best-selling autobiography, The Pursuit of Happiness in 2006. The book's powerful narrative became the inspiration for the critically acclaimed movie starring Will Smith, which grossed over $300 million worldwide and earned Smith an Academy Award nomination. He further shared his philosophies in his second New York Times bestseller, Start Where You Are: Life Lessons in Getting from Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. This success propelled him into a new role as a highly sought after motivational speaker, sharing his powerful messages of resilience and determination globally. Beyond his financial achievements and literary success, he has demonstrated a deep commitment to philanthropy, directly addressing the very issues he faced in his own life. He is actively involved in homelessness initiatives, assisting families to stay intact and helping employed homeless individuals who still struggle to make ends meet. His work extends to organizations such as the National Fatherhood Initiative, the National Education Association Foundation, the International Rescue Committee, and Glide Memorial Church, a San Francisco charity that provided him and his son shelter when they were homeless. This extensive philanthropic work, particularly in homelessness and fatherhood initiatives, is a direct and powerful manifestation of his life trauma and subsequent triumph. He is not merely donating money, he is actively addressing the very cycles he broke in his own life, demonstrating a profound commitment to systematic change. His core philosophies and life lessons, distilled from his arduous journey resonate deeply with audiences worldwide. He speaks of spiritual genetics, a concept of tapping into one's unknown potential. He emphasizes the peace, finding your passion, being practical, and having a plan. Perseverance is a recurring theme. Baby steps count too, as long as you are moving forward. And don't wait for the perfect time to start making changes to your life. The time is now. He also normalizes failure as a part of the journey, stating it is okay to fail. Some of the greatest successes in the history of America started out as a failures. A particularly profound message, especially from someone who achieved immense material wealth, is his emphasis on self worth over net worth. Do not confuse your net worth with your self worth. He asserts that material possessions don't guarantee happiness and champions a redefinition of the American dream, prioritizing balance in life over checking account balance, appreciation over expectation, and a return to friends, family, and people over things. His unwavering commitment to his son remains paramount. I hold one thing dearer than all else, my commitment to my son. And I went through pain as a child so many children wouldn't have to. Finally, he empowers others who overcome doubters with the powerful retort. When someone says, you can't, what it really means is that they can't, so why should you get to? His consistent emphasis on self worth over net worth and his redefinition of the American dream are profound philosophical takeaways, suggesting that his ultimate fulfillment was never solely about money, but about internal purpose and meaningful relationships, reflecting a hard won wisdom that transcends material success. His journey from the depths of despair to the pinnacle of success is a living testament to the human spirit. His story, a beacon of hope for millions, is the true pursuit of happiness, embodied by a man who refused to be defined by his past. This extraordinary individual, this master of resilience, is none other than Christopher Paul Gardner. Christopher Gardner's life is a symphony of resilience, a testament to the power of the human spirit to transcend the most harrowing circumstances. From a childhood step in trauma and poverty, through the unimaginable struggle of homelessness with his son, to building a financial empire and becoming a global inspiration. His journey profoundly redefines what it means to pursue happiness. His story is not merely about financial success, it is about the unwavering commitment to a dream, the profound love of a father, and the courage to break cycles of adversity. His core philosophies offer timeless wisdom. Baby step count too, as long as you are moving forward. Don't wait for the perfect time to start making change to your life. The time is now. He reminds us to focus on self worth over net worth and to always pursue happiness, and you can start where you are. His journey directly links to the core mission of Freedom with Drishti, emphasizing that true freedom is not just financial but also internal, resilience, purpose, and the breaking of personal and generational cycles. His life reminds us that true freedom isn't just about what one gains, but what one overcomes, what one builds, and what one gives. It's about finding one's own definition of happiness and relentlessly pursuing it, no matter the odds. If Christopher Gardner's story resonated with you, if it is ignited a spark of hope or determination, then please like this video to help us spread this powerful message. Comment below with your biggest takeaway or a moment in his story that inspired you the most. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message of resilience. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe to Freedom with Drishti for more stories of extraordinary transformation and empowerment. Until next time, keep pursuing your own version of happiness. Thank you.